Hey guys, Miss Landry here, and this is your first video for while I'm gone. So hopefully you guys are doing well. I miss you guys, and I hope your week is going well. So I'm gonna break down Mod 16 into like maybe 3 videos so that it's not overwhelming. The first one we're gonna do is just gonna touch on 2 of the learning targets. The first one is how do we define sleep? And then the second one is how do our biological rhythms, how are they influenced throughout our day? So we're going to talk about those. So let's start with what is sleep? Okay, so sleep, your book defines it as the definition on the left in the blue over here. Let me get a pen for you. This is your book's definition. It's good. It's all right. I actually like this definition a little bit better because it talks about how your sensory inputs are inhibited. You basically are in a very relaxed state where you have very little interaction with the outside world. So I kind of like that one a little bit better than saying you have a loss of consciousness, because there is some research that shows while you're asleep, you are still conscious of what's happening. It just may be that you're not necessarily aware of it. So I have a quick true false for you. Okay, so I want you to do this in your notes. This is not for the Ed puzzle. But let's start with the first one. True or false? When people dream of performing some activity, their limbs often move in concert with the dream. So, for example, if I were dreaming of playing tennis, my arm might look like I'm making a serve, or like, yeah. So that's the first question. Next question. True or false? Older adults sleep more than young adults. True or false? Next one. Sleepwalkers are actually acting out their dreams. Do you think that is true or false? And then sleep experts actually recommend that when you have insomnia, you should treat it with an occasional sleeping pill. True or false? And then the last one, some people dream every night and others seldom dream. So what do you think? I will tell you that those are, those are all false. A little tricky thing for you there. Hopefully you did okay on that. And we'll talk about each one of those as we go through it. But our bodies, we have rhythms throughout the day. So think about the earth having a 24-hour clock, right? We kind of think half of it's light, half of it's dark. It's not always that way, but it's pretty close. So we have what's called a circadian rhythm. And I always like to give you root words because I think it helps you understand where that comes from. So circa is Latin for about, and diem is Latin for day. So it's about a day. So your rhythm is about a day. It coincides with the 24-hour Earth cycle for the day. And basically what happens is our body temperatures actually rise during the day. So when you wake up, this is where the temperature starts to increase, and it will go up to about the human body average. And this is all in Celsius. Human body average is about 37 degrees. And then at night, as it gets to be, 6 o'clock in the evening, your body temperature starts to drop. And so that's the biological rhythm that your body goes through. You've probably heard of these 2 different types of things, morning larks or night owls. And while there is a genetic component, and I'll tell you about the genetic component, it does change over time. So most people your age are night owls, meaning your performance, let me erase all the writing I had on there, but basically your performance increases during the day. And you probably notice that, right? Like in the morning, your mental faculty is just not as strong as it is in the late afternoons. Your melatonin production usually starts to be produced a little bit later. So you're probably finding it hard to go to sleep before about midnight. Night owls, this was in your textbook. I don't know if I agree with it, but they say that night owls tend to be smart and creative, and then it tends to decrease as the hours go on. They tend to do better in school, take more initiative, and be more punctual. Again, I'm not sure if I agree with that, but that was in your book. It's usually after your 20s that the tendency of which one you prefer starts to drop just a little bit. So that is night owl versus morning lark. Now, in terms of a couple practice questions, and then this video is over. First of all, which of the following represents a circadian rhythm? Go ahead and answer the question. So it's probably easiest if you pause the video and answer it, because I'm not going to read everything. So obviously the correct answer on this one is, let's see, C. I mean, it's basically the definition, right, of circadian rhythm. So hopefully you got that. Next one, with the approach of night, our body temperatures begin to drop. This best illustrates what? And again, circadian rhythm, part of the definition. It's like that cycle. And finally, oops, let me erase all this stuff. It's a little annoying. How is it best illustrated? So when you think of circadian rhythms, how is it best illustrated? Pause the video and, oops, come on back. Hold on. Seriously. So the correct answer on this one is B. Hopefully you got that. So that's it for this video. I do have a fun little last slide here that you can take a look at with some cool facts about it. But that is for our first two learning objectives. So we defined sleep and we talked about the circadian rhythm. So I will be back with the second video. See you guys.